Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am glad you're here. So today I am filming a video on this new challenge that I haven't seen anywhere on YouTube. I looked it up, I haven't seen anybody do it. What we're going to try and do is use a dry makeup sponge and see how it applies foundation and concealer completely dry. So instead of getting it wet before using it, I want to use it totally dry and see how it works. So I've always heard that you're supposed to use these makeup sponges damp. That way, you know, it adds moisture to your face. You can spray some setting spray on it, which is what I like to do. Especially for dry skin. I've always heard for dry skin, make sure you dampen your beauty blender. It's the best way to apply foundation for dry skin. So today I am going to try it completely dry. I never have before because if you haven't seen my other videos, I do have really dry skin. So I'm going to break the rules here and see what happens when I use a completely dry makeup sponge. So if you want to see what happens, then please keep watching. Okay, here we go. So I have a Morphe makeup sponge and I also have a beauty blender, and they are both completely dry. So one of the main differences is going to be that they're much smaller, obviously, so they're not going to cover as much, you know, area when you're putting it on. So let's go ahead and start. I've already, you know, washed my face this morning. I've put my moisturizer on this morning. So let's start with a primer. I like to use the Kat Von D Lock-It Hydrating Primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this all over my face. I have a feeling that this is gonna turn out bad just because I do have really dry skin. But you never know. We could be onto something here. I'm especially worried about the concealer because that's what looks the driest on me. I don't really have that many dry patches on my face anymore, just since I've, you know, started doing really good skincare. But concealer, if I'm not super careful with the way I apply it, it can look really dry and kind of crepey. So I'm really concerned about that. Okay, so we've got that primer on. I also use the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer just because I do have really big pores kind of in my T-zone. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Okay, now that we've got our primers on, normally I would take my Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist and spray it on the beauty blender while I was applying my foundation. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just spray it on my face since I can't spray it on the makeup sponge itself. So let's go ahead and do that. And here it is right here. This is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. I'm really getting it on there. Okay, so I think I'm going to use a beauty blender on this side and my Morphe sponge on this side. I'm going to take the MAC Mineralized Moisture Foundation right here. I know this one looks good on my skin when I use a beauty blender wet. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks with a beauty blender dry. So I guess I'm just gonna like squirt it on my face because I don't really want to put it directly on the beauty blender because I feel like since it's dry it's gonna soak a lot of it up. So I'm just gonna like put it directly on my face. And here we go. This just feels really wrong. By the way, if you try this at home, it feels totally backwards and weird. Oh, this is weird. I feel like this is going on even more full coverage than it normally is with a wet sponge. That's definitely a difference I'm noticing right off the bat. Doesn't seem to be soaking up too much of it though. Like it's, I don't know, maybe I put a lot on to begin with. I'm not sure, this isn't how I normally do it. Man, this is really weird. Oh, I can already tell this is gonna look bad under my eyes. I can already tell. But so far, I mean, I don't think it's soaked up that much. I mean, of course, you can really see it on the blender, but I kind of think it's blending it out more full coverage. Alright, let's put a little teeny bit on our forehead here. Oh, I can see it caking up, y'all. Can you see it? Look at that. It's already caking up. Ew. Man, I kind of had high hopes for this at the beginning. Okay, so there it is. I think it already looks really cakey and gross. Can you guys see that? Especially on my nose and on my forehead. I think it looks gross. It's definitely not like melting into my skin. so let's go ahead and try the other side with the Morphe sponge. I don't know, for some reason I feel like I'm putting more on than I normally would. And the reason I'm using two different sponges is because I really feel like the consistency of these sponges are totally different. Like I feel like this one is denser and kind of softer material, and this one is not as dense. Like I feel like this one's more porous. So who knows, maybe this Morphe one will work better dry than the Beauty Blender did. And I really like the flat side. So you feel like it doesn't look half bad when I first put it on, just like on the other side. But let's see if this one cakes up too. I think it already is. It doesn't look as bad. Like look at that. Okay, you see this side? And then this side looks super cakey. Interesting. Yeah, this side looks so much cakier than this side does. And I feel like this one is just blending better dry than the Beauty Blender did. Okay, so here is my face from the front. I still feel like the Beauty Blender side is a little bit more cakier than this one, but I can see this side caking up as well. Especially like right here, just looks terrible on this side. But even if you just look at my forehead, this side is so much more cakier than this side. I'm gonna see what happens if I add just like a little tiny bit more. Just out of curiosity. And then we'll do it on this side with the Beauty Blender. Although I feel like this side is more full coverage. Okay, I'm feeling like this did not help the Beauty Blender side at all. Look. Oh, the Beauty Blender side is so gross. Okay, I've blended all I can blend. Okay, so let's move on to the scariest part. I'm gonna go ahead and do some concealer. So I've got two. I've got the Tarte Shape Tape right here, and then I've got the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. I wanted to try both because the Rainforest of the Sea one is a lot more watery than the Shape Tape is. So I feel like this one blends a little bit better with drier skin for me, so I think I'm gonna use this one on this side and this one on this side just to give them a fair shot. Let's see. I'm just gonna use a little bit. Get the Beauty Blender. I'm scared. This part I'm really scared about because my eyes can so easily look so dry. I'm scared, but this one's a lot more watery, so we'll see. I can already see it falling into creases. Oh God, guys. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, it already looks bad. It is creasing so bad. Look at the creasing. Oh my God. Oh, and it's so cakey. Oh my God, it's so cakey. It's a good color though. Oh, good Lord, you guys. This is gonna crease so bad by the time I do the other eye. I'm digging the color though. The color's good. It's highlighted. Okay. These are both fair, by the way. All right, here we go with the Shape Tape. I'm really nervous about this one because this one is not near as watery as Rainforest of the Sea is. All right, and we're taking our Morphe sponge. Here we go. Okay, so right off the bat, this one's a little fatter at the tip than the Beauty Blender is, so it's making it a little hard to get right up underneath my eye. Maybe I should switch to let's try it this way. Although I don't like normally use this side to get right up under my eye. Maybe I should. This is kind of nice. Okay, why is the Shape Tape looking better? It's funny how the Shape Tape is a little more, a little lighter, even though they're both supposedly the same color by the same brand. Interesting. The creasing is definitely there, but it's not as bad as the other side. God, who knew blending would be so much harder with a dry sponge? Okay, so I still think this side looks better than this side. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spray with the Tatcha spray one more time before putting powder on. Just to try and give it a fair shot here. Oh, you guys, look at this. This just feels wrong. Okay, I'm gonna try and set my under eyes with powder, but I have a feeling this is gonna make it so much worse. I am going to use the Morphe 438 brush. Yeah, so I'm gonna use my Kat Von D shade in light, and I'm going to use this color right here. And we're just gonna get under the eyes. We're gonna look up while we're doing this. I feel like baking is probably a bad idea right now. I'm trying to make this look kind of salvageable. And I like this brush because it's pointed, so it gets right in there. We're gonna use the same thing on the other side. So hard not to make an ugly face when you're doing this, just like with mascara. Guys, it's so bad close up. Like, it may look decent like this, but if you really like look at it, look at this. Sorry you have to be so close to my face, but like, look at this. Guys, it's so bad. It's really bad. Okay, so I'm gonna set my face like I normally would. I feel like these powders are making this dryness so much worse, but we're gonna do it. Okay, so I'm gonna take my Urban Decay Naked Skin Ultra Definition Powder Foundation in the color Fair Neutral, just to set my face. I feel like this is gonna be bad, and I'm using my Morphe E41. This is what I normally use. In case you're wondering why I'm patting, it's because it's just what I'm used to doing for my dry skin. It's better than like moving it back and forth like that. Alright guys, I think this is as good as it gets. I've set it with powder. I'm going to spray it with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. But I don't think I'm going to go further than this because this is not something I want to like wear out in public. I think I'm just going to immediately take it off after this video because look at it. Look how gross this looks, especially this side. This side is definitely worse than this side. So this is the Beauty Blender side, and this is the Morphe sponge side. Like right here around my mouth, it looks really gross, and under my eyes just looks terrible. I don't know if y'all can see that. And then like, I'm not creasing on my forehead though, which is what I normally do. The eyes are definitely creased, like really bad. And with the Shape Tape, I do not crease like this. So I'm gonna spray it. Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Maybe this will save it, we'll see. Oh, I love this stuff. If you guys haven't tried this stuff, you definitely need to. So normally this is where I would take the Beauty Blender and just kind of push in that setting spray. I guess I'll use two different ones. Okay, so it really doesn't look that bad from afar. Like, I feel like when I'm far from my mirror, it looks decent. Like, maybe it looks decent to y'all right here. Like, in my viewfinder, it even kind of looks a little dewy right here after spraying the Morphe spray. And I definitely feel like the Morphe spray made a huge difference. Like, if you look, here's my forehead, here's the Beauty Blender side, here's the Morphe sponge side. So I definitely feel like this setting mist made a huge difference. So if y'all don't have that, go ahead and get it because obviously it makes a huge difference. I don't think I would wear this out in public like this though. Like, especially here in my chin. Like, it looks really gross right there. Yeah, I'm kind of scared to like add any more powders to it, like bronzer and blush, because I feel like it wouldn't even blend well just because it is so cakey and just, it's laying on top of my face. It is not soaked in with my face. It's not melted onto my face. Definitely the setting sprays made a difference, but it's definitely not melted into my face like it should be. So I'm not gonna add any more powders to it. This just looks bad. I'm gonna take this off immediately. But I had really fun doing it. I think the Morphe sponge worked better. So if you're ever in a place where you don't have water but you need to apply foundation and concealer, make sure you got your Morphe sponge. And I really just think it's because the Morphe sponge is a lot denser and a little bit harder. This one's more porous and softer. So I think that's why this side applied a little better. I really want to see some of y'all out there try this just to see what the results are with different skin types. Like, maybe people with like really oily skin wouldn't have this problem. Like, they could probably use a dry beauty blender, no problem. Like, my best friend Jessica, she uses a dry makeup sponge and that's just how she does it. She had no idea that you're supposed to like dampen it. So that's just how she does it, and it looks pretty decent on her skin. So y'all should try this. Tag me in it if you have. Tag me on Instagram, call me Rachel63. Tag me on here, tag me on Twitter. I want to see what y'all's results are because I think this was a really cool experiment. It's kind of like a break the rules, see what this makeup sponge does. Completely dry, because you know they always tell you make sure you dampen it. So I just really wanted to see what this looked like. I think it was a cool experiment. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please take a second to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment box below. Like I said, I do have an Instagram you can follow. It's call me Rachel63. That's the same thing for Twitter. And if you have any suggestions on videos you want me to film, go ahead and leave those down in the comments below as well. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.